Yes, indeed. We come back with a special session here on the topic of space for contemplation. Kun Sanitas Pradittasnee is a luminary in the sea of sustainable and contemplative design spaces. So we're so delighted to have her with us today to share her approaches on creating environments that foster the well-being and connectivity of people. Please welcome to the stage Kun Sanitas ค่ะ
ค่ะสวัสดีนะคะขอขอบคุณทางลาดกระบังมากนะคะที่เชิญมาในวันนี้นะคะ My name is Sanitas Pradittasnee. We have a small studio in Bangkok doing both landscape design and the art installation. When I was a child, my parents often took me to visit my grandmom in the countryside. It's where I would see the nature and the traditional way of life. And this experience have a lot of impact on my interest in the natural world and also still really intrigued by the contrast of urban life and nature and also about the rhythm of life that can be both fast and slow. In today, like we all living in the world with constant change, with pandemic and overwhelming amount of information and increasing number of people with mental health problem. How can we cope with all that? I believe it's quite crucial to provide people a mindfulness space, a space for people to be able to slow down, pause, relax, and be able to be with themselves and have their own inner peace. Our studio have developed in this subject for 15 years. I would like to show some image for all of you to get the overview of our studio. The first one I call Khao Mo. Is the installation that create to provide people a space for introspection, inspired by the ancient Thai art, the miniature mountain. It has been exhibit inside the art center and outside in the public park. The next one I call House of Silence. It's inspired by the meditation pavilion by the forest monk or growth. It is the installation that located in the public park, the Benjakiti Park. It offers a sanctuary like a peaceful space for people in the city. And this one I call In the Mountain. It's the installation that invite people to be part of the mountain. It's located in the Mae Fa Luang Foundation Park in northern part of Thailand. And this one is the permanent art installation in the new public park in the city center, Pathum Bananurak Park in center of Bangkok. It was designed to create a space for people reflection inside the city. And this one is the permanent installation. It looked like a room that enveloped with the reflection of the surrounding in contrast with the sound of the wind, local wind bell. And this one is the installation for Wonderfood Festival. It's also designed to create like a space for people to have a mindfulness space amidst the constant change in the surrounding. And this one is the current work that I create a space for contemplation for Singapore Garden Festival that is just complete like last few weeks. In Thai Buddhist practice, we embrace the wisdom of learning from nature or Dharma nature, where people can learn impermanence, suffering, and nothingness. realizing that we are just part of nature. In all of my work, I aim to create the mindfulness space, like a space for people to be able to slow down, pause, and start to notice the changes of surrounding nature, embodying the concept of impermanence. Nowadays, we all embrace the lifestyle with that is more convenient and comfortable. Yet we find ourselves with less time for self-care and personal reflection. In the near future, I imagine that we can embrace the lifestyle that is more convenient and efficient, made possible by the advanced technology. So, from my perspective, I believe that if we could provide people a space, like I call it space for contemplation. It's a space for people to be able to have a time for themselves, have a pause that they can reflect and that can reflect and have their own consciousness and live mindfully amidst the constant change. I'm going to show you 4 main projects. The first one is inspired by the ancient Thai art I call Khao Mo. It's the miniature mountain. The image that you see is the Khao Mo at Wat Gate in Chiang Mai province, northern part of Thailand. When you in front of Khao Mo, you are not just seeing the pile of logs, but it let you imagine to something else, like the paradise landscape in Buddhism cosmology. So we start to make a research on the origin of Khao Mo. Khao Mo actually inspired by the Chinese garden, and it started in Thailand from the 14th century. But in Thailand, we combine with Buddhism and Hindu and Buddhism cosmology. Apart from the concept of belief, I also interest in the detail of the Khao Mo, like the miniature architecture, that it invite people to spend more time in the area. So in 2013, in the group exhibition at Bangkok Art and Culture Center, I want to bring back the wisdom from the past and have it interpreted in the modern way. From Khao Mo at Wat Gate that you can see the overall from outside, the new Khao Mo invite people to explore the space inside. Mountain of belief have been reduced to only the silhouette of the mountain and use only single material, which is Thai traditional mirror that we use in the temple. While people exploring inside the work, they will be aware of themselves to the reflection from the mirror. And the journey inside, I want to transport people back to the purest state, which is like the beginning and the end. I call it a sanctuary, and I use only the soil. And in the same year, in 2013, Khao Mo was relocated to the public park. It's the park between Chulalongkorn University and Siam Square, the city center. When Khao Mo is located outside, it acts differently. Because of its reflection, it decreases the presence of Khao Mo, and in the same time highlight the changes of surrounding nature, from dusk to dawn and from raining season to summer. And moreover, when we locate this work of art like in the public space, it's open up a space for people to enjoy the space for contemplation. In 2018, we have joined the Bangkok Art Biennale, the first Biennale in Thailand. I had the opportunity to create the site-specific installation at Wat Arun Rachawararam, the Temple of Dawn, the symbolic of Bangkok. The Khao Mall at Wat Arun was originally built during King Rama II, and it has been here for more than 200 years. If you can see, it's the this one. This area is the ancient Khao Mall garden. And so I study about I start to do research about the temple. So I learned that the temple is planned according to the Buddhism cosmology. The center of the universe is the mountain Sumelu, represented by the main pagoda. And Khao Mall represents the forest at the foothill of mountain Sumelu. So when I study about the Buddhism cosmology, so I think that if we can have people experience the moment of changes, it corresponds to the Buddhism concept of having people to be with the present moment and being with themselves. So we enclose part of the existing Khao Mall with the red perspex to create the comparison from the symbolic landscape to the landscape of emptiness. So when people walk across from outside to the space inside, people will be allowed with the time to be with themselves and be able to notice the changes in surrounding nature. Even when the crowd pass, the changes have been seen. And from the outside, you can see the reflection of the symbolic landscape on the outside. And I have the short video of time lapse taken during the exhibition that can show the changes in the garden. And also, this work is the historic site, so I don't want to interfere with the historic Khao Mall. So the work is placed on the periphery line and let the light to interplay with the historic Khao Mall. And I also have a short video of the experience inside.
มันเริ่มมาจากว่ารู้สึกว่าอยากทำ exterior ให้เป็น interior แล้วมันก็ตรงกับไอ้เรื่องที่พูดถึงโลกข้างนอกโลกข้างในก็คือทั้งนามธรรมกับรูปธรรมที่มันเอามารวมกันจริงๆปรับพื้นที่จากกลางแจ้งให้เป็นพื้นที่เหมือนภายในพูดถึงเรื่องการเปลี่ยนแปลงซึ่งการเปลี่ยนแปลงมันก็ไปสื่อกับเรื่องความไม่เที่ยงในปรัชญาในพุทธศาสนาด้วยพอเข้ามาอยู่ในนี้จริงๆมันเป็นเหมือนอินสตอเลชันชิ้นใหญ่ที่คนจะได้รับรู้ถึงการเปลี่ยนแปลงสภาวะรอบด้านที่มันชัดขึ้นด้วยสีของแสงที่มันเปลี่ยนไปในแต่ละช่วงเวลาของวันหรือในช่วงเวลาเดียวกันเนี่ยแค่เมฆพัดผ่านเนี่ยไอสีของแสงเนี่ยมันก็เปลี่ยนไปแล้วหรือจากการที่คนเนี่ยมองภาพออกจากไอตัวกล่องสีแดงเนี่ยก็จะเห็นภาพข้างนอกเนี่ยที่มันต่างไปถ้าเกิดย้อนสมัยพุทธกาลเนี่ยพระพุทธเจ้าเนี่ยให้เราสอนให้เรามองภายในก็คือโลกข้างในก็คือขันธโลกแทนที่เราจะไปสนใจโลกข้างนอกมันก็เหมือนสะท้อนกับไอสภาวะปัจจุบันที่คนสนใจแต่สิ่งภายนอกที่เป็นแบบ material กายภาพหรือว่าพวกโซเชียลมีเดียอะไรเงี้ยค่ะก็คือ installation เนี้ยเลยตั้งใจที่จะสร้างพื้นที่ให้คนได้เดินข้ามจากโลกข้างนอกมองข้างนอกเดินข้ามเข้ามาสู่โลกข้างในเพื่อมองข้างในจากตัวตนสู่ไร้ตัวตนคนเนี่ยจริงๆแล้วไม่ได้ต่างกับสภาพแวดล้อม หรือเรามันก็ไม่ได้เป็นแม้กระทั่งฝุ่นของจักรวาล
Okay. And the next one is called, it's quite recent work, and it's called Garden of Silence. This artwork is actually the permanent art installation at the Cheung Tawan Meditation Center in Chiang Rai province, like northern part of Thailand. It's part of Thailand Biennale 2023. And first, I would like to show you a video of the work so you can get the experience of to be inside the work. It's the same material that I use in Khao Mo. It's a Thai traditional mirror that we use from the very long old time, so it can use outdoor. So you can see in the temple, in all the temple that we have a small mirror, but I use the standard size. In Garden of Silence, it's not about the object or the sculpture. It's about the experience of the whole garden. So this work I intend to like expand to be like a garden experience. So it's allow more time for people to spend time with themselves, to walk, like maybe walking, thinking, or meditation walk, or spending time with themselves, and slow down and be able to have a time to think and reflect And the garden have three main elements. The first one, I call it existence. It made of the precisely folded steel plate. And I imagine by time it will show it will be aged by the material. And the second one, I call it emptiness. From outside, it look like the pile of soil, look like the ruin, like the old stupa that have been there for a long time and covered with the vegetation. But when you walk inside, you will discover space inside the stupa with your reflection in the all dimension, and it's open on top to let the connection between the sky and the people and to reflect the surrounding nature inside. And the last one, I call it silent. It's like a mountain that people can climb up, and on top is a platform that people can have a pause on top or sit, relax, or meditate because it's in the meditation center. So, and it's going to be the permanent permanent work. So I intend to create a space for meditation, space for people to be with themselves. And so from on top, people can have the panoramic view from elevated perspective. And also the same material that I use with the khao mo, the Thai traditional mirror, it reflects the changes of from sunrise to sunset and also from different seasons. Because when we create this work, it's in the end of raining season, which is dark green. And this image took it during the late January, which are the rubber tree, because it planted on the northern part, so it turned all red and shaded all leaf, and then it become like light green. So actually the work, it changed itself by time. And another element is the local, it's the wind chime that create the melodious sound, like by the passing wind. It's the custom-made brass bell that I use the ancient lost wax casting method. It's from the northeast part of Thailand. And coming to the last one, is the art exhibition called Landscape of Emptiness. It's the exhibition at the Art Center Silapakon University inside the historic building. Actually, this exhibition is inspired by my meditation trip to the deep forest in beginning of the year. I will show you some of image. So of the meditation trip, it's actually like a place that without electricity, without water supply. So when we went inside, so we need to live very modest way. And what I learned is when you are in a very nature place or in the forest, the cell become like smaller, and you start to notice the changes of surrounding nature, which also highlight the impermanence. So when I came back, I come and I talked to the curator that I don't want to create any big sculpture or big object, but I want to create a moment, a condition of emptiness, and for people to experience in the exhibition, in the art exhibition. And also the emptiness that in my meaning is not about not having or nothing. It's about the freedom from any attachment. And I want to convey that special moment to the people. And this is so I start to create the installation that work with the historic building, which is like a space site specific space and time. And in the main hall, in the ground floor of the exhibition, people will find like a large pile of soil, like fill up in the whole room with the Thai traditional mirror that reflect the interior of the historic building. And I also want to make a connection between the outside and inside. So it's about the past and the present, like outside and inside. And this room was called primitive. And in front of the main hall of the art center, people will discover the brass frog, like the small frog that's sitting on top of the charcoal pedestal. This work is actually I inspired by the Dharma story I learned. It's about the frog that living in the dirty mud, and they and he and he think that it's very precious and try to hold on to it, comparing to us that we think that what we live and it's very precious, and we try to hold on to what we couldn't. So I make this work to remind me of this Dharma story. So it looked like a frog that tried to hold something that he couldn't. Actually, this frog, I found it near my previous work. Like he was like laying dead nearby my work, and I used the same method, the ancient lost wax casting. And on the second floor, so people will discover like the installation hanging from the top. So on the ground floor, everything is on the floor, but on the second floor, everything is hanging from the ceiling. And this one is made of the bell by the lost wax casting method. It's hanging in like the stupa shape. I call it silent. It doesn't have a sound, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But you can see the shadow when it casts on the wall and the floor. And in the very important room is the main hall on the second floor. People will discover a dark room with only one shining light that highlight the small particle surrounding us. I call this room Stardust or VR. In this room, people are invited to spend more time, so their eyes start to adjust, and they will start to see the small particle actually like surrounding us. And in the inner room, I call this work the shadow of emptiness. This installation also hanging from the ceiling, and it creates like a shape of the like abstract shape of the Big Bang. And the object that I use is also made in the brass casting, like ancient lost wax casting method. But all the element that I use is the leftover everyday life object allow me, like the dry leaf from the Cheung Tawan Meditation Center, or the used like spoon, or like a bottle can, and some plastic, and some like jelly wrap, and it's hanging in the like Big Bang shape. So, and it's not about the object, it's also about the shadow that create the shadow on the wall surrounding the work. And come to the last room is I call it the present moment. compared to the first room, the primitive in the ground floor, that you see like illusion from the Thai traditional mirror. But on this room, I use only the mirror that site specific fit to the architectural element that would reflect the changes of surrounding nature, like from sunrise to sunset. And I have the video to see the experience inside the work. Yeah, this another work, but I didn't show the image. It's called Impermanent. It made of the ash that I made all the ancient lost wax casting. It's like a painting by the ash. It's also the room that I call Follow the Sun. It allow space for people to be with themselves, to have a time to pause and relax. And it's on the east side of the building. So it's about like living life according to the sun. And actually, this exhibition, I try to integrate all the sensation. I can give you the video, but it's actually integrate with the sense. The sense that I create like a fragrance that is from my memory in the deep forest, but with also with the sound. So it's about hearing, seeing, and smelling.